So let's continue now with our analysis of the XBasic Ajax callback function now. So so now you've seen how we looked into the E object to see what was there, and inside the E object there was checkbox filter arguments XML. So that's the XML version of the SQL arguments. So we're going to just go and dim a local object, a local function called args as SQL arguments, and then we're going to populate the XML property of this with the filtered arguments XML that was passed in. So now I have an object called args which has the value of all of the arguments that were computed on the server, and we now need to get those arguments into a special format of name, then a pipe, then type, then a value. So what we do is we count the number of arguments, we look at the args.count property, and then we loop over all of the arguments in the SQL argument object, creating a string, a CRLF delimited string of all the arguments in this format. So you can see here we've initialized text to be a null string, and then we've said text equals argument name, and then we get the argument value, which is args1.data. We get its type, which is by using the typo function, and then we just get the leftmost character, and then we put another pipe and then args.data. So this line now is going to give us the argument values in this correct format, which is name, type, value. Then we add in a CRLF, and then we get the next line. So now we've basically read the value in arguments and created this string, the CRLF delimited string, in the correct format over here. So now we send our Ajax response back to the server, and we just simply fill in the inner HTML of this div of checkbox filter. So $sign checkbox filter gives us a pointer to that div, and now we just fill into the inner HTML the actual filter that was computed for us on the server. And before we send any JavaScript back, we need to call JS escape to make sure that we're not sending back unescaped JavaScript characters. And then we do the exact same thing for the arguments. So we filled in this div now with the filter and also the arguments. So now if we go back to working preview again, and we check some fields and then press the button and just run it, you can see there's the filter has been filled in, and on the next line is the arguments. So now the next thing that we need to do is figure out how to actually open up a grid, and we do a little bit of cheating here. We just use Action JavaScript to write some code for us, and then we copy that code. So the next thing that we did was we just simply put a button into the grid, and now let's go and then we used Action JavaScript to open up grid 2. So here's we've opened up grid 2. Actually, it doesn't really matter what I've got here in the base filter because we're going to delete it anyway. So, and then we just clicked OK, and then we right-clicked on this and we said View JavaScript, and we don't care about this because this is the actual function that is going to call another function. What we care about is this declarations global over here, and this is the actual code, the JavaScript code that's going to open up the grid, and we're going to just copy this portion of the code. We don't care about this section over here. We just care about the actual function definition. So I'm going to copy everything from there down to the end of the function, and then copy that to the clipboard, and then I'm going to go to my JavaScript functions over here, and I pasted everything in from the clipboard, and then I made a few small changes to this function, which I'm going to explain in the next video.